Today we're talking about how to manage risk on smaller projects. It's one of the most common questions I get. People want to know, do I really need to manage risk on my small projects? Well, I ask, how do we know what small is? When we talk about small versus large projects, the size is really relative to the organization. I mean, is it small in relation to time or the scope or even the number of resources or budget? For instance, I know a telecommunications company who had a software implementation. It was $500 million with 300 people on the project. Well, sounds like a large project, right? Well, in relation to this company, that was one of the smaller projects. The same telecommunications company had a separate software implementation with only 2 people on the project. So that sounds really small. Well, that was a really small project, but it carried a lot of risk. These 2 people on the project were 2 of only a few in the country who knew this software. And the issue was they were always at odds with each other, which introduced a lot of risk, schedule delays, and budget overruns. So the factoid is all projects, small and large, have risk. So still don't think you have risk on your projects? Well, it's possible you're misidentifying it. For instance, my videographer always has a backup plan. She has extra lights, extra power, extra cords, extra everything. In essence, she's managing her risk. So let's take a look at some of the how-to and some of the tips for managing small projects. Well, when we look at the how to manage risk for small projects, we're still using the same process as large projects. We're just doing it to a different level. You'll continue to create your risk management plan, identify your risk and capture those in your risk register. You'll also perform your risk analysis to create your risk response plan. So when we talk about managing risk, we're talking about controlling risk. It's the process of implementing these risk response plans, tracking the risk in your risk register, monitoring those, and even identifying new ones along the way. So some tips for managing risk on your smaller projects are: adjust the level and the rigor to the organization's tolerance and standards. In essence, we're talking about right-sizing your risk management. You also want to continue risk management throughout the project. You also want to ask questions. Ask questions of your team members, of your vendor partners, of your stakeholders. You want to make sure you continually look for new risk. Also, question everything. As conditions and situations change throughout the project, so will your risk, and you want to capture those. So if you need a tool that can help you manage your risk on your small projects, then sign up for our software now at projectmanager.com.